What's up, guys? So my other video, I ran out of storage space, whatever. So let me break it down to you. I was talking about how I ended up with my grandma and how I was adapting to all that. Okay, so let me just update you guys. So, like I said, my parents were dope dealers. They ended up having a fallout, right? So they ended up having a fallout. I ended up living with my grandma, having issues with her family. You know, it's not my family, it's her. You know, she remarried. She remarried. Like my grandpa, he passed away. She got remarried. Her husband didn't get along with my dad, so he didn't care. So her husband didn't care for us, right? When my dad couldn't handle raising us, when I move over there, I'm having issues with her stepson. So I'm having issues with her stepson. He chokes me out. She finds out about it. I don't think she ever tells my dad, and I never say nothing to my dad. And he ends up, because if he knew anything about it, he would not kick it with him. So anyway, um, so and then I get choked out. We're having issues, whatever. My dad's in and out of jail, and this guy, her stepson, you know, he's out on the streets, and you know, I think he does speed. He does speed because there's a pad across the street from there that there's a paddock. My dad hangs out at that house too. You know, there's always there. Oh, let me rewind it back and tell you guys. So that fool, I will tell you, I made friends with the neighbors. The kid chased me with the knife. I remember that was kind of pretty dumb of him because he was running with the knife. He was barefooted too. He could have tripped and stabbed himself, but that would have been his bezel anyways. Not to be mean or anything, but I'm just speaking facts. So anyway, I'm friends with them. You know, we stayed away from each other after that. When he chased me with the knife, then I ended up being friends with his cousin. He has a cousin I'm cool with. We're just being kids. You know, we're running out smoking cigarettes. We start smoking cigarettes there's a field not too far from there. We're smoking cigarettes, and we're smoking cigarettes. You know, we're being bad kids running up and down the streets. You know, you're just being kids, normal kids, right? I guess if you call them normal kids or whatever. You know, just kids with no supervision, I guess, running out in the streets. They're duplexes. Everybody's always hanging out. We're back and forth. My dad's in and out of jail. So my dad had went to jail, but then he got out. And one day, I think he had just got out. And we're always there's these neighbors, these these white neighbors we have, and they have a dog. Inside, like they have like a picket fence for their dog, and this the father of that house, he's always mad every time we were running back and forth. But we're kids, we don't listen to what the fuck he's saying, you know. Plus he ain't nothing to us. So we're back and forth, right? And the dog always barks, and he gets mad. But well, he shouldn't be living in duplexes, especially where there's kids, and you shouldn't have your dog in the front. You know, use some common sense. All right, so we're back and forth. This time, my dad, he's back and forth as well. He's coming across the street from that pad, where there's a lot of homies pass by. Let me tell you this kid, the kid who chased me with the knife. He One time I remember, because there's homies that kick it at that pad, you know, and I have family members that live over there. So one time I'm kicking away that fool's cousin, the one who chased me with the knife, and I flip off the car, and it's blasted. There's some homies that come up, they're in a car, they're all blasted up with they're blasted from head to toe, which that wasn't really popular back then. This was like probably like 92, some shit like that. It was in the early 90s. That wasn't really popular, but they were all blasted up, and there's a Mexicana lady. She lives in the duplexes where, and I flipped off that car, and the kid, that fool's cousin, I'm kicking it with him, and he gets all scared and he's crying because they're gonna tell his mom or whatever. And I'm not really scared too much. But one time I see this fool kicking it with my grandma's husband because he's a tecato. He's a tecato and they're tecatos too. And then I get scared. I walk through the alley and I see them. They're kicking everything in the garage, and I go back. I don't think they ever told my they said they were gonna tell my mom, but I don't think they ever said nothing. You know, I think they're just trying to scare us because they're kids. So anyway, all that happened. I know I'm going like back and forth with this story. Is because like this is just off the top of the dome. This is all the shit that I'm saying is off the top of the dome, and then I remember shit. Like I know there's people they tell when they're making videos and they write down little notes, but I'm not doing that. I'm just going off the top of the dome what I remember, and sometimes I forget to say certain things, so then I'll remember. Then that's why it's a little back and forth. But yeah, so I made that fool cry, whatever. So anyway, when my dad gets out of jail, he's coming back and forth from that pad across the street. You know, he's partying. He just got out, and me and my sister, and we're playing with our friends. We're running up and down. We're making that dog bark, and that guy comes out and yells. The dad of that house, he comes and yells at us, and my dad fucking gets pissed off, right? And they get in an argument, and you know they're talking shit to each other, whatever. So I guess that fool ends up complaining. He complains about us, and we end up getting kicked out of that pad. So that's pretty much, you know, I was adapting to everything. I broke it down. I was adapting to everything, and all that shit. We ended up getting kicked out of that pad. So that was the beginning of my experience, you know, living with my grandma. You know, and I'm gonna just end it right there. And the next one I'm out.